What's your biggest regret? When my daughter asked me to teach her how to drive, I said I was too busy. She was 16, just got her learner's permit, and was so excited. I can still picture her bouncing into my home office, holding that little plastic card like it was a trophy. Dad, can we practice this weekend? Mom said you're the better teacher, but I was working 60-hour weeks trying to make partner at my firm. 3 major cases, all due the same month. Ask your mom, I'd say without even looking up from my laptop. I've got depositions all weekend. My wife tried teaching her, but Anna was a nervous driver herself. She'd grip the steering wheel so tight her knuckles went white, constantly hitting the brakes. After their 3rd lesson ended with both of them crying in a parking lot, they gave up. My daughter stopped asking. I noticed, but I figured there was plenty of time. She's only 16, I told myself. No rush. 3 months later, homecoming came around. This boy she'd had a crush on for 2 years, Caleb, finally asked her. She was over the moon, talking about dresses and corsages for weeks. The problem was, Caleb assumed she could drive. All her friends had licenses by then. When he casually mentioned she could meet him at the restaurant instead of him picking her up, she panicked. She couldn't admit she still didn't have her license. Not to Caleb, not to her friends who'd been driving for months. So she lied and said her car was in the shop, but she'd figure something out. That's when she made the worst decision of her life. Her best friend, Jenna, had left her car keys at our house the week before. A little blue Honda that Jenna's parents barely paid attention to. My daughter had never driven alone, not once, but she was desperate. I was in the biggest client meeting of my career when my phone started buzzing. I declined the call. Then my wife's phone rang in her purse. Then the office landline. My assistant knocked on the conference room door. Sir, it's urgent. Family emergency. The accident happened 2 blocks from our house. She'd been so nervous, so focused on not hitting anything, that she completely missed the stop sign on Maple Street. Never even slowed down. The pickup truck hit her passenger side going 45 in Mierptner. The impact was so violent, it sent her little Honda spinning into Mrs. Dawson's oak tree. The same tree my daughter used to climb when she was 8. I got to the hospital and couldn't find parking, left my BMW sideways across 2 spots and ran through the ER doors like a madman. The triage nurse took one look at my face and knew exactly who I was. Room 12, she said quietly. The doctor will be right with you. My wife was already there, holding our daughter's hand. Machines everywhere, tubes down her throat, bandages covering half her face. She looked so small in that hospital bed. Dr. Kim pulled us aside and used words I'd only heard in medical dramas. Traumatic brain injury, swelling, induced coma. We need to wait and see. She was unconscious for 3 weeks. I took leave from work, something I'd never done. Sat by her bed reading legal briefs out loud, hoping somehow she could hear me. When she finally opened her eyes, I cried harder than I had since my father died, but something was wrong. She looked at me like I was a stranger. The rehabilitation was brutal. She had to relearn everything. How to walk, how to speak in full sentences, how to use a fork. The girl who used to help me with crossword puzzles couldn't remember her own middle name. Physical therapy 3 times a week. Speech therapy twice a week. Occupational therapy to help her brush her teeth and tie her shoes. All the things I should have been teaching her while she was healthy. She's 19 now and doing better, but she'll never be the same. Still struggles with basic math that used to come easy. Can't process information quickly. Needs help organizing her thoughts, remembering appointments, managing money. The worst part, she can't drive, never will. The brain damage affected her spatial reasoning and reaction time. The very thing she wanted to learn is now impossible. Last week, she was looking through old photos on her phone. Found a video she'd taken of herself the day she got her permit, practicing hand signals in the mirror. She watched it twice, then looked at me with those eyes that aren't quite the same anymore. Dad, she said slowly, the way she talks now. Why didn't you teach me to drive when I asked? Was work really more important than me? I couldn't answer her, because the truth is, I was too proud to admit I just didn't want to make time for my own daughter. I chose billable hours over building memories. I chose client meetings over teaching moments. I chose career advancement over being present. Now I'd give anything for one more chance to sit in a parking lot with her, patiently explaining how to parallel park. But that chance is gone forever. Some mistakes you can fix. This isn't one of them.